Coming up in today's video, I come up with a good idea. And then I come up with another good idea. And then I come up with another good idea. But before we get to those good ideas, here's what I did before the video. I stood in a box. And then I went and sorted out everything at the braid farm. Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video by me, FoxyNoTail, here on the truly Bedrock survival server. In the last video, Slack Lizard and I worked on a double cave spider spawner system for making many string, and the episode before that, I got confused by Dripstone.
You lose.
However, I can now say that confusion is completely gone. We have successful dripstone being farmed at our base now, which is absolutely great news. And what's even better great news is not the skeleton that's chilling out over there. It is in fact our cheesy furnace is 100% completely out of items. It is smelted through everything, which means it needs more items. So I'm just going to casually drop in another entire sugar box worth of sand for this single furnace to power through, and then I'm going to go and mend my tools in it and just see exactly how many levels we get from this thing now, because this furnace has smelted the entire world twice. Pretty much. It's smelted so much, it's unbelievable. I'm really excited to see how much XP it has in it now, so I'm going to lock it. And I'm going to grab myself a piece of glass. Obviously, this is going to repair my pickaxe, but I should probably get a few levels as well. What am I on? 182. Repair that. And now I'm on 192. 10 levels at this point when you've got 100 levels or so. That's insane. Jeez, I'm tempted to die just to see how many levels that is just straight off. But there we go. Let's grab that. And another 10 levels. This is ridiculous. Oh, very good. While I'm down here, I might as well check what the furnace has been smelting recently. It seems to be beef and glass and quite a lot of clay. So it has been busy. It has been very busy. And believe it or not, it's actually filled up this entire chest system now twice. Ow, stop it. So now that this dripstone has started to grow a bit, I feel awful, but I'm actually going to smash it all to bits again and then just place some more in. But not over here. I'm actually going to make a new area for dripstone with a much bigger area to grow them on over here. And as you can see, there's no water or anything up there, but I'm going to make the effort to fill up this entire thing with dripstone and get many dripstones growing for us. Now, I know you can redstone it and you can create a system that when it grows in front of the observer, it'll break the block above, giving you dripstones that way. But in order to get a reasonable amount back, you would need an absolutely ridiculously big farm and a lot of time, because dripstone grows really slowly. So I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned, dead easy way of just mining it myself when I see it's grown a lot. And that's exactly what I set out to do next, starting by digging out the area a little bit more, crafting some torches, and then placing the torches so that we could slab above them for some underfloor lighting. I then went and placed a lot of sea lanterns around the dripstone and then filled the dripstone with water so it was nice and light up there and we didn't get things spawning. I then started adding in the ceiling and putting the posts around the edges in, as well as building the archways down the sides. Then I filled up what I've referred to in my notes as bushy holes, which makes no sense. I then clear up a water disaster after having a bit of a water disaster, and then I clear up a zombie disaster after having a bit of a zombie disaster. After that, I joined the two segments of the base together with a new hallway, removed the old dripstone from the other area, and extended the dripstone in the new area. The dripstone throughout this time had been growing, so I replanted some, and then carried on with more building, and more digging the floor, and more digging in the furnace room, and a little bit more digging, and then fixing the villager area. And then I was done. And after all that digging, my pickaxe is just about blunted because we dug a lot of blocks. We've got nearly a double chest worth of rubbish in there to sort out. However, in that time, we have had lots of dripstone. Now, I've actually broken it all and placed more in. Here's a picture of what it looked like before I broke it. We've got a decent amount. The more we get, the more we can break, the more we can add in along here, and the faster the whole lot will grow, which is great. Now, the area around me might look a little bit boring, it might look a little bit plain, and it might look a little bit repetitive, but it's absolutely fine. The design is here, so we've got plenty of room for extra storage. Lots of chests and things can go into these alcoves, and to make it nice and easy to repeat around the area. And if I was to try and take off and fly, whoa, you can see it does go now around the entire area, which is great. I've even done round here a little entrance into the back area where we've got access to the furnace chests. As you can see, a lot of glass is smelted. And if I go up these stairs here, that takes us back to where the furnace input chests are and the coal chests are, which is very good as well. And you can see there's a lot of stand, and I put some stone in there as well to be smelted because we haven't had much smooth stone this season. Having been relatively impressed with the speed that the dripstone was growing, I was starting to rethink my ideas about having an automated farm. You see, in my book that tells me all about the farms that I need and have made, it does mention a dripstone farm just here. And whilst this technically is a dripstone farm, it's not very automatic. So as usual, I hopped over to my creative test world in order to design something more automatic. And my initial go-to idea was this, which is pretty much the same as a bamboo farm or a sugarcane farm, but in reverse. The dripstone would grow to there, and then it would grow to there, get seen by the observer, and then get broken. However, we do know that dripstone will grow on the floor as well. That could be a bit of an issue for us. But fortunately, I have a good friend that just happens to have recently put out a dripstone farm tutorial. And that friend, of course, is Mr. Slack Lizard, who has pretty much made the exact same design, but he has a clever piston at the bottom as well to get rid of the item on top of the hopper, which is great. So I was pretty much nearly there first try, and now thanks to Slack Lizard, make sure you go and watch that video and check it out, by the way, and give it a like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's really not going to take too much to change this all up. And just like that, I've thrown this together. I'm not quite sure it's exactly the same way Slack did it, but it should work absolutely fine. If we bring that down there and that down there, they will break, and if it grows from the bottom as well, they will break, so that's all good news. Now all I've got to do is build it on the server. But before I run off and build it on the server, I do just want to try this in real life. So I got my shovel and went digging for dripstone. Oh no, wait, no, that's not what I did. But before I go running off to build this on the Truly Bedrock server, I do want to do a little bit of a test by increasing the random tick speed and just making sure this is going to work properly. And having increased the random tick speed of the game to 3000, I can see absolutely nothing is happening at all. Oh my goodness. So what have I done wrong here? We've got full war... Oh, I'm an idiot. This is 100% why you should follow Slack's tutorial and not mine. There we go. The problem should be solved now. Jeez, what a moron. And there we go. That worked absolutely brilliantly. Obviously, we need some glass in place to stop all of the shards going all over the place. But even these ones here that have got the dripstone in front of the observers still work because the shape of the dripstone changes as it grows. Let me demonstrate. If I add a little bit of dripstone to the top of this one, you'll see it will still fire because that observer notices the change in the dripstone itself. So you don't actually need these ones along the bottom here, except for the fact that it's going to be very difficult for these hoppers to be picking up the items if they're in the way. What I do want to just quickly test though is, can the hoppers pick up those items with those in the way? Because I don't think they should be able to. So I'm going to grow this second one along. It's going to get broken, and no, look, it sits on top of the dripstone there. So we do need to clear the bottom ones in order to make sure that all of the items got into the hoppers below. So let's just check that out. They break, and everything then could go down. Nice! Thank you very much, Mr. Slack Lizard. Let's get it built on the Truly Bedrock server. But I didn't go back to the Truly Bedrock server because just then I had another idea. You see, I was told that dripstone would grow better if it was clumped together like in this idea here, as opposed to being separated here. So I want to know if there's a better way of doing this, and I think this might be the way. So if I load both of these up with dripstone, like this, and then close them both off again, and then set the random tick speed to 3000, which one of them is going to fill up the chest fastest? Now, obviously, I'm not going to spend too long testing this. I'm going to run it for a few minutes on this random tick speed of many, and then just see which one's got more in the chest at the end of it. But it's going to be an interesting experiment. Another interesting experiment would be to look behind me and see which one of these has grown the most, and, well, I've missed it, haven't I? So let's start those again and check that test out. So again, which one of those is going to grow the fastest? And you can see the ones that are clumped together are growing much, much faster than the ones that are on their own. It might just be a one-off, it might just be luck, but I've got a feeling that these ones are going to be the winners. Which means that I think that these ones are going to be the winners too, but we won't know until I stop the test and find out. But it turned out I was wrong. So the farm, based on a variation of Slack's farm with 8 pieces of dripstone, has produced nearly 5 stacks of pointed dripstone in that time, whereas the other farm that I made, which should technically be better because we saw that working better than those, only produced nearly 4 stacks. So nearly a whole stack less in that time. Now, there is a lot of random stuff going on with pointed dripstone, so one test probably isn't a fair test. So I'm going to do another, but I'm not hopeful. So I ran a couple more tests and got pretty much the same results. So then I came up with yet another idea. Intrigued by those interesting test results, I've now put together 2 more tests that I want to try, which might look similar on first glance to what we had before, but these 2 farms are now completely different. Before, all of the redstone was tied together, so if one observer spotted something, all of the pistons would move, and I want to know if that has an effect on the growing rates of the dripstone. So this particular design here makes all of the pistons fire individually for each of the observers. So if that observer detects, only the 2 pistons above and below it will go, and the same for all of the rest of them as well. And then this design goes a little bit further to keep all of the dripstone completely separate. So we know that when it's all clumped together like this, it's remarkably slower than when it's in a line like this. But what if we separate them further so they're just like this? So I ran yet more tests, this time testing all 4 farms against each other, and farm 1 and 2 behaved exactly the same as I expected before, with farm 1 getting nearly 4 stacks of pointed dripstone and farm 2 getting a stack less than that. So at least these 2 are being consistent. Farm 3 has, wow, hardly anything. Like, what? Why? I don't understand why the redstone would make a difference. And farm number 4. Farm number 4 has got 3 and a bit. Okay. So farm 1 clearly is the best, and I think I might know why. Not too long ago in this crazy game of Minecraft, it was possible to grow sugarcane and cactus by giving them regular updates. However, that system is now completely broken. Or if you're a developer, you might call it fixed. I personally call it annoying that I can't place sugarcane next to a water source. But the idea was, if you gave the blocks enough of an update, they would grow very quickly, which meant you didn't need bone meal, and therefore you got free sugarcane. So coming back over to our dripstone farms, I have a feeling that the number of updates that we're giving the dripstone is causing them to grow faster, kind of like our ticking farms. Because you see, this one has a lot more going on all at once than the other ones. Every time one of those observers sees something, every single one of the dripstones is being updated, which I think means it's being encouraged to grow because it's being ticked. Whereas this design, which is identical in how the dripstone grows, is growing much, much more slowly and giving us much, much less because none of the dripstones are getting updated while the rest of them are. Which gives me yet another really good idea. I believe it may be possible to 0 tick dripstone, and I'm going to try and figure out how to do it. So we've got 3 tests here. We've got 1 piece of dripstone with absolutely nothing below it and no redstone around it. We have another one here with a crazy device beside it that will make the piston pop out very, very quickly, constantly updating that dripstone there. And the third one I have here is a dispenser above the dripstone with water, constantly updating the block to tell it there is water above it. I want to see if that will work as well. Currently, the random tick speed is on 0, so these things can't grow. So I'm going to put it up to 3000 just so that it's a fair test, and I'm going to turn that one on. And I'm going to turn that one on, and now we're going to see what happens. Water 1 and Redstone 1 have already grown pieces on the floor, and Redstone 1 has grown down a bit and broken. Water 1 has now grown even further, and Redstone 1 has grown from the ground again. Notice one with no redstone is only just catching up with the other ones, but it is fairly neck and neck. Non-Redstone 1 has now grown a little bit more from the top, whilst Redstone 1 hasn't moved in a while. Okay, time to turn the random tick speed off and turn off the most noisy machines in the world and discover that the system without any interference was the fastest. Okay, well, there's a couple of reasons why that might be. One is that this one is hindering the growth from the top because the piston's sticking out too fast, and this one is hindering the growth from the top because it doesn't always have water there to make it grow. So I need yet another idea. Jeez. I now have 3 new tests, the one in the middle being the same as farm number 1. The redstone's exactly the same as that. The one on the right-hand side being a bananas crazy redstone mess, and the one on the left-hand side being a nice slow piston system. And I'm hoping that one of these makes us have dripstone slightly quicker than the others. So after each farm has had a couple of minutes to run through, in the first one we got 21 pieces of dripstone, in the second one we got 9, and in the third one we got 11. So on this particular test, the ones being ticked more regularly actually gave us more dripstone. Which, because all of the results have been so bizarre today, I don't believe it. So I'm going to give it a 3-minute test and try the whole thing again. Okay, the next trial results are over, and we got 21 in that chest, and we got 22 in that chest this time, and we got 12 in that chest this time, so completely different results to what we got before. There is no consistency with this. This lack of consistency was really starting to drive me crazy now, so I came up with 2 final farms to test to really decide which one was going to be the champion that we would build on the truly Bedrock server. On my left hand side we have the original farm that we made from copying Slack's farm, and on the right hand side we have exactly the same thing but on a clock that is a little bit more regular and doesn't rely on observers. And there we go, 3 minutes is now up, the tick speed is turned off, and I realise I've been a moron, so I am going to have to do one more test. The reason I've been a moron is that these 2 hoppers are looking into each other, meaning the farm is going ridiculously fast. What it should be doing is going like this. Anyway, redstone aside, the results for that test was that that side got 3.5 stacks. I don't think this side got very many. It didn't. Nearly 2 stacks. Let's hope now that we've fiddled with the redstone, things are a little bit better. Okay, so the time is up and the results are in. Farm number 1 in 3 minutes got 3 and a bit stacks of dripstone. And farm number 2 got less than 3 stacks. So still, after all of this testing that we've done, the one we made right at the beginning is the champion still, absolutely 100% the best. It's all well and good running these tests in this creative world using a random tick speed of 3000 to simulate things, but that's not really going to give us an idea of what this is going to be like running on the server. You see, when you're running at random tick speed at 1, things take forever to grow, which might make a complete difference when it comes down to having automatic farms like this one, where it's using redstone to tick things. So, I know I said I wasn't going to do any more testing, but I'm going to do one more test. So now what I'm going to do is run the entire thing again for 10 minutes, but this time using Cheat Engine to dramatically speed up the game. Hopefully, in that period of time, that should give us enough for a few bits of dripstone to have grown and got broken, and we will see who the overall winner is in a real-life situation. It's not real, it's Minecraft, you know what I mean. Okay, I've run the test for 9 minutes instead of 10 minutes, basically because that's the equivalent of around about 3 hours in real time, because Cheat Engine's running at 20 times normal speed. Ish. That's give or take a few minutes here and there because it's not exact. So after 3 hours of running, I'm not expecting to have much dripstone back, but let's just check. This farm, how many did we get from this? 1. And what about this farm? 2. So Slack's farm is twice as fast, it would appear. What about this one? Did we get any from this? No, we got nothing from that one. And this one with the individual redstone, absolutely nothing. And this one with them all grouped together, nothing. And back to the very, very original one. What do we get from that? Nothing. Again, great. So in 3 hours... In 3 hours, with all of these different farms running, we got 3 pieces of dripstone, 1 per hour. Well, it's not even dripstone, it's pointed dripstone. You need 4 of those to make 1 dripstone block. Wow, this is not going to be quick, is it? I guess on that note, it's time to build the world's slowest farm on the Truly Bedrock survival server. And yeah, I'm going to be going with Slack's one because it's the best. So it was time to go back to the Truly Bedrock server and smash everything to bits. Then I crafted some pistons, placed a load of chests and hoppers, and then placed some pistons on observers before placing in the dripstone blocks. I then placed water sources on top of the dripstone blocks before breaking and placing the dripstone shards or the pointed dripstone from our original farm so that I could move it into the new one. After that, all I needed to do was put some glass in front and we were finished. Or were we? And just like that, we now have a 100% finished, completely, fully automated... No, it's not finished. I haven't done any redstone behind the observers. How did I forget to do that? What a moron. Right. Oh, jeez. Now it's 100% finished, and all of the redstone is in place as well. And we've got one bit that's growing as well, which is wonderful. And this bit here is grown as well, which means we can carry on spamming this across the ceiling. One day we'll make it the full way across, and hopefully we will have many, many pointed dripstones in that chest there. You can see, again, another piece has grown there. Oh, this is good. This is excellent news. Completely not what I had planned to do today, but I'm glad we did it. And this is good news because it means coming back to my fancy book that I can now tick off that we've done the dripstone farm. And as much as it's not the fastest dripstone farm in the world, it is complete. However, I'm not going to tick off that we still need dripstone because at the moment, we still very much need dripstone. And on that note, it's time to end. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like. And if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.